How's it going, guys? It's Poacher, and welcome back to another episode of the Europa Universalis 4 Dutch Return campaign. This war has outlasted like 6 years. I would have liked it to go quicker, but again, we're not really hunting for any achievements. We're not hunting for anything in particular. Not rushing. This is mostly just a relaxing campaign. So I don't care. You know, whatever. If we're not constantly at the war, it doesn't really matter. We do actually have a huge coalition in Europe, by the way. Not huge, but pretty big. So there is a good reason to not be super rushing to get to war in Europe. Really, Japan and Ming are the two main places I would be focusing, and I don't want to. If I were to, I don't think I can handle both of those wars at once in the same area, unless I brought over a bunch more troops. In which case, the coalition, if they fired, would destroy. You know, it'd be a lot harder. So, I'm trying to leave a good defense force behind. But anyways, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee, and we're gonna get started talking. Actually, let me just finish this coffee off. There's like, I'm looking. There's like 3 sips left. Hold on, 1 sec. Okay, well, I didn't finish off because whatever. I'll take one last sip in a little bit. Anyways, so yeah, last episode, as we get going here, just with this relaxing war, last episode, we were talking actually about some personal stuff. Not personal in like the sensitive way, but like personal in that is like talking about my origin story of where this is that glass? Nice. How I started with YouTube, my inspirations for that. And the reason I was sort of talking about that was, oh god, how did I even get on that topic? Oh my. I don't really even remember how I got on that topic. I was talking about Northern Lion, I think, and other YouTubers I watch. I don't remember how I got on that topic. Wow, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going with it. So yeah, so we have been talking about how I was really inspired by like Arumba and Quill and Northern Lion, and actually the reason why, it's kind of funny. Those were the people that inspired me to do my YouTube channel. However, when I originally did my YouTube channel, I was not focused on Grand Strategy Gaming at all. It was mostly like, so I guess at first it wasn't really Quill and Arumba that inspired my YouTube channel, but it was really Northern Lion. With like his Binding of Isaac stuff, right? And I even tried out Binding of Isaac stuff early on. And yeah, and I was really into that style, like long form content, 30-minute videos where you just talk about whatever, because I already do that anyways. I'm a talkative person. I like to blabber on about stuff. It's a flaw of mine, but I was like, here's a way I can turn it into a cool, you know, a trait, a benefit. And I think I've done that. But anyway, so so Northern Lion was really the one that really got me going, and with that, one of his series that I watched was his EU4 multiplayer videos with Arumba and Quill and Mathis Games, with the 4 of them. I started watching those at around like maybe November or December of 2014. So I had already been doing my YouTube channel. I've been watching Northern Lion's other stuff, but I started watching these Grand Strategy Gaming videos. And mind you, during this time, I had been getting more and more interested in strategy games in general, with like Civ 5. I got super into Civ 5 in the fall of 2014. And that's why I had it on my channel, and then it failed, but you know, whatever. Then I had during the same time, like Mountain Blade Warband, which isn't strategy really, but there's tactical elements, and I wanted them to be more strategy based. So I was looking for, during this time period, I was like, I want to find some stuff that's more strategy oriented, deep strategy, complex strategy games. And then I started watching the crew, Northern Lion, Arumba, Quill, and Mathis play EU4. Started watching this stuff, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. I have no idea what's going on in this game whatsoever. I have literally zero clue what's happening in this game, but it looks fun. Maybe I'll play it at some point in time. I didn't really for a couple months, a couple months later though, in late December, it might have been like the way I remember this is because I know it was during winter break. It was over winter break, and I was like, I had a lot of free time, right? I was recording videos. I was looking for stuff to cover on the channel. I actually started streaming on Twitch around this time as well. and I was looking for stuff to stream and record that I would know that I could really make more of a presence on the channel. I didn't have a lot to record on the channel at that point in time. I think I'd gotten kind of disillusioned with the whole Civ thing not working out. Who would have expected again, right? But no, so then I had started watching, and a month or two before I had watched some of the Northern Lion and crew play EU4. So then the Steam Winter Sale happens and stuff, and I'm like looking around, looking at the games, you know, and I was like, yo, here's that game that they were playing, EU4, on sale, 75% off, because that's what they always do. They always put it 75% off, so it's $10. I didn't have a job at the time. I was like, this is my chance. I've been watching them play this game. I have absolutely no clue how to play it. Never played any Grand Strategy game before this point in time. But I was like, this looks cool. Maybe I'll play it. But I was like, I also kind of want to get some of the other people, my gamer buddies, Jeff and Calzone, my gamer buddies that I had been doing other stuff with, like Civ. I was like, maybe they'd like to play it with me. So one night, it was just all in the course of like one night. I was like, hey guys, let's play some EU4. In fact, one of the people Jeff, my buddy Jeff's real life friends, who I'd also done videos with before, he named Sam. He actually had played CK2 before and owned EU4, so he had a little bit of knowledge. So it wasn't, we weren't all blind, but we were like, hey, why don't we go and play some EU4? I really pushed it on them. I was like, yo guys, we should all buy this game. It's like $10. That's not too expensive. Let's all buy this game and play it together right now, tonight. And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? And so we played EU4. It was that fateful night. We played EU4 with no experience at all. Very little. The one person who had played EU4 had very little. He mostly had CK2 experience. And none of us had played the tutorial even, and the tutorial isn't even that good. We were like so confused out of our minds, right? I think we played our first game as I think I was like Austria, and one of them was like Venice, one of them was like Bavaria. We were all playing in the same area, and we were just like so confused. I think one of us declared war without a CB. We were like, why do we need a CB? And then like we had a coalition against us, you know, all nasty stuff. And I don't remember what happened. We played for like 2 hours, and then we just quit. We were like, well, what happened? But then we were like, it was early on in the night. We were like, hey, why don't we play more? So we were like, hey, why don't we play as... One of our friends was like, let's play as Native American tribes. Mind you, I think this is before the Conquest of Paradise expansion. So we were like, yeah, that sounds fun. Let's play as Iroquois and Cherokee and stuff. Because most of us from like the East Coast. And so I played as like the Cherokee, because the Cherokee reservation is near where I live. Kind of near where I live, you know. So we were like, yeah, let's play this. Not a great idea. We were sitting around. We were playing on speed 3 as the Native Americans, sitting around doing nothing, before finally being like, this is boring, and quitting. Again, we did like no CB wars against each other because we couldn't touch each other. We had no borders. It was just awful, right? So I think for like a month after this, I didn't play at all. I didn't play any. For a month, I was like, I'm not touching this game. This is confusing. I don't know how to play it. But then finally, about like a month later, I was like, maybe I should give this game a second chance. Let's give this game a second chance. And on my own, single player. I was like, let's try to play it single player. I think I didn't play my first campaign on YouTube after that, but I was like, I played a game off camera, and I was like, whoa, this game is interesting. It has a lot of depth and complexity, which it does. And I was like, whoa, this is super interesting. By the way, we need to go to Spain, just if nothing, for no other reason, just get this out of the way. This is super annoying. But I started playing, and I was like, oh my god, this is cool. And I think one of my first games was as like England or something. The first game where I actually won, and I think I conquered most of France. I was really proud of myself, and I was like, I can definitely play this on my YouTube channel. By this point, it's like spring of 2015. I've been keeping up with my YouTube channel, but I hadn't really had a focus. And so I was like, why don't I try to do this EU4 stuff, right? And this is where it's like, man, time flies, because this feels like it was just yesterday. But I was like, I'm going to do this EU4 stuff on my channel, see how it works out, you know? And so I started doing the EU4 on my channel, and it didn't do super well. It's not like it was a instant hit, but it did better than any other videos I'd done previously. And I've always wondered why, you know, but I think I figured it out now, which I'll go over in a second. But I started doing EU4 videos, and they got maybe 15 views per video after 48 hours, but which is not much at all. But it's certainly a lot more than what I had previously. Before that, it was like maybe I would get up to 10 views on a video, and these had sort of like a soft seal or a floor of like, most of them got like 15 views, especially like when I was starting a new series and have that, you know, bump at the beginning when you do episode 1. I was like, this is good. I'm actually feel like I'm making growth, and also it was consistent. You know, that's the thing. It was consistent, and I saw it grow. It was like after a while, then it got up to like maybe like 20 views for a video on average. And so it started growing. It started growing a little bit, and it was consistent enough that I was like, this is something I think I could go deeper in. So I started going deeper with it. Started doing more often these videos, these EU4 videos, doing it more consistently, and really starting to work on this. And then it started paying off. I saw growth, which I hadn't seen with any other category of videos. It was all pretty much just a crapshoot. And if it didn't grow, it would be inconsistent. I might get one video that did well, the next wouldn't. These videos were all pretty consistent and consistently growing. And I was like, wow. And the reason why and I've talked about this plenty of times before, I think, but I think the reason why is because of the fact that the reason, like, compared to something like Civ and EU4 are both strategy games, right? They're both decently complex, although, in my opinion, EU4 has a lot that Civ doesn't. But with that, I was like, I've always thought about, like, why, and I think I figured it out, but why does EU4 do a lot better on my channel than Civ? And I'm pretty sure I know the reason why, because Civ has a much wider audience, you'd think, right? A much better, oh my god, a much better, it's much more well-known, much more popular. There's so many more people that own Civ 5 or 6 than EU4. But I was like, the reason why, I'm pretty sure, is because of the fact that EU4 is historically grounded. It has an element where you start with the exact same stuff that another person will have, that any other player of EU4 will have. The 1444 start is the exact same for anyone who plays the game, unless you use mods, whatever, that's a different thing. But it's there's an element of relatability. When you're playing Civ, it's completely different. It's completely random, hodgepodge mess of rulers and civilizations and terrain that has no semblance to history, really, unless you play on an Earth map, but that's not really a common thing. People like the randomness. It's just not, it doesn't make it relatable when you're watching it. It's like when you're watching it, you have to create your own lore, and you have to be really interesting to weave an interesting story about stuff that isn't historical at all. It's sandboxy. Whereas EU4, it's like, everyone, if you say, oh man, Burgundian succession fired this time, everyone who has played the game, which is most people who watch videos, are like, they can relate. They're like, oh shit, you had the Burgundian inheritance fire. Bad luck, bro. Better luck next time, And so with that, there's this element of relatability. It's like there's a shared community around EU4. And there's a community around Civ. It's like, sure, Civ does have its own community things too. It's like, oh, like the Gandhi nuking things, that's one that's been around multiple generations of Civ, but not in the same way, the universal relatability, the historical relatability that I feel EU4 has, and so EU4, I think that's why it did well on my channel, is because with being someone so small at that time, only having a couple hundred subscribers on YouTube, maybe, I was like, I had to find a community, and I found the EU4 community that actually took me in a little bit more than other ones, than Civ, because Civ, most people are like, they'll only watch big names who already people know have a reputation for being interesting people, like Quill. Most people aren't going to just watch a random person play Civ. They're like, you have to have some sort of entertainingness. Whereas in EU4, people will genuinely be interested in watching you, even if they haven't watched you before, not all the time, but sometimes, depending on what country you're playing. They'll be like, oh, I wonder what this new person will do with this country. Maybe they'll show off a new strategy that no one's ever thought of before. I don't think I've ever done that. I'm not that good at this game, but you know, I do think I take approaches to certain problems and certain roleplay elements of EU4 that other people don't, and that makes me have that relatability, but also a uniqueness. That in Civ, it's like, yeah, whatever, you know. So I don't know. I find it super interesting thinking about that. But yeah, so I think we're gonna get out of this war now. By the way, I think it's been long enough. What do we really care about? We really care about Hangzhou, because that goes straight to Malacca. Canton is like a sort of secondary. The Canton province itself is really good, though. Don't get me wrong. So, I don't know. If anything, we'd like to just get a couple provinces, you know. Yeah. Yeah, Suzhou. Macau, maybe. I don't know. Something like that. I mean, actually, let's take off Macau. Just do trade ones. Trade ones only. So maybe like this one. Like, what is it? Haizhou? Yeah, look at that. That's nice. And then, I'm not going to worry about Beijing. I don't think I care about... We don't really want the Beijing... The Beijing trade node only goes down on the Silk Road route, you know. We want to cut it off before it reaches there. That's the whole point of this, is cut off Hangzhou and take their money from underneath them, you know. And then the Nippon money comes into Hangzhou, and we get that, instead of going to Beijing, you know. It's more important to get Hangzhou. So let's do it, if we can, try to get more land up here, rather than in anywhere else. Yeah, we could do like that. 62. What is your limit? It's like 61 or 60. Let's just go for that. That's fine. Cool. Let's get some provinces. Yeah, 59 is our limit, so that's good. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, let's go. Cool. There we go. We have a good couple provinces now. Go ahead and make these core. Look at that. Nice. Cool. There we go. But yeah, so I don't even remember how I got on that topic of talking about like my inspirations on YouTube and whatever, and my origin story. But that is it. The rest is history. From that point on, you know, from 2015, early 2015 on, I basically, because of the success that I had, relative success, it wasn't even like on an absolute level, it wasn't really that much, but because of the relative success I had with EU4, I was like, and because of the fact that I love EU4 and fell in love with it even more after that point, I was like, this is something that I think I could do, you know. And I started to focus my channel more, a little bit at first, and then it started working. So I was like, let's go a little more into it. It worked more, and so eventually it was just like, it just kept getting better and better to the point where it became the focus of the channel after about a year or so. It really became just EU4 and stuff. But yeah, and to this day, I watch, so I guess I think I got onto the topic talking about, like, Arumba and Quill and Northernlion and, like, Mathis Games, too. Can't leave out Mathis, but, yeah, and those guys are really, like, the source of inspiration for me. Seriously, they inspired me to have this long-form content that, really is what has kept me going as long as I did. If I edited my videos like most YouTubers did, I would never be able to. I wouldn't be able to handle it. You know, I would just give up. But I do think that having the not feeling pressure to edit stuff, just being okay with doing long videos like this. You know, 20 or 30-minute long videos where I just talk and don't really have any direction. I think that is what the real reason I got inspired to do that is because of Northernlion especially, but also like Quill and Arumba and stuff. Yeah, so it's been a huge inspiration for me. I think I got onto this topic talking about D&D, right? Because I was talking about them being big source of like them seeing them do D&D streams. I do not remember, man. Oh crap! We were supposed to go to war with these guys. Crap. All right, we can do that later. Whatever. But yeah, there is a, yeah, they still, I still watch those guys, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That's something, I guess, that, that I guess is just part of stuff that people might not know about me is that I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch Northern Lion and occasionally I'll watch Quill and Arumba. Not as much, I think, as Northern Lion. I don't know. But that's just a part of my YouTube identity. And yeah, the fact that my YouTube channel and then Grand Strategy Gaming has become such a big part of my life, whereas it didn't start that way. You know, it wasn't that way always. It was like, that's a pretty couple-year-old thing for me. But before that, my life was like completely different. You know, I didn't have this part of my life. You know, so I don't know. It's interesting for me to reflect back upon. You know, be looking at the ways that has changed my outlooks and my perspectives. New Brabant, did you guys delete like all your forts here? What the hell? Excuse the language, but geez. Seems like not a great idea. I think we go to war Japan now. Yeah, sorry Japan, gotta kill you. Is that what we want to do though? We want to do that for one. Maybe we go to war with Spain? I don't know. Spain. People stay in Tupanicum. Oh, it's Spain. What if we go to war with Tupinikim? Tupinikim? I don't know how to say it. I don't know. Let's wait like until the end of this year, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. That's oh man, I really wish I could remember how I got on this whole tangent, because I know there was a reason. I like started talking about that, and now I can't remember why it was. Like I don't. Oh god, what was I talking about that got me on that in particular? You know. What was it that got me onto that in particular? Crap, man. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys like, I think that with my YouTube channel, I literally never expected, like when I gotta say, when I was like fall 2014, when I was working on my channel a lot, but not seeing much growth, you know, I was super disappointed. But I hit 100 subscribers around like December. But then I never expected, at that point in time, even after hitting 100, which is like, they say that's the hardest part, and I think I agree. Hitting 100 was probably the hardest part of my YouTube channel. But, I never expected, even after getting to that point, I never expected that I would ever hit 1,000. Like, hitting 1,000 subscribers was really the crazy thing for me. And then now being almost to 3,000, that's like insane. I couldn't believe that. Like if I were to go back in time, I would have never believed that, you know. So it's completely awesome that has happened now, that I've been able to come this far on YouTube. But it's been a lot of work, you know. Right now I have on my YouTube channel, I think about 1,900 videos, right? I have made 1,900 videos that I have on my channel. The average length of them is, I literally did the math a couple days ago because someone asked me, like, how much time you put into this. If you do the math, that's about 9, yeah, I looked at how many hours of content that is. It is about, like, a month, it's like 30 days of recording that I've done. Not to mention the little amount of time I do editing, like the ins and outs of each video and stuff. It's even more. I have spent a long time doing YouTube videos. I have 1,900 videos, 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes average each. That's a lot of stuff, you know. And yeah, it's been a lot of work, but yeah, and I actually looked recently also. I thought it was fun looking at how many hours of that, how many hours have people watched of my stuff collectively? How many man hours of humanity have been spent watching my content? And the numbers actually blew me away. Apparently, there's been 9.5 years of time spent watching videos on my channel. That is crazy to me. When I found that out, I was like, what in the world? I've wasted 9.5 hours of collective humanity. Oh my god. But no, I'm joking. I don't think it's a waste. I think it's, for me, it's not a waste, at least. Maybe there's always more productive stuff that people could be doing, but I don't mind. You know, I love the fact you guys are watching my stuff. You know, if you're watching this right now, you know, I appreciate it. And there's you know, people like have hobbies. That's not. There's always, it's like, oh, you know, we can't be working 100 hours a day. So if people enjoy my stuff that I'm making and they view it as entertainment, it helps, maybe it helps them just relax. And I think that's good, and I think it is worth it. You know. But I like to just, you know, say teasingly that I've wasted 9.5 hours of humanity. But no, years, not hours, years of humanity. But no, I don't actually think that in a negative way. But yeah, a lot of time has been put into this channel. So that's the thing, is a lot of people, less so nowadays actually. I don't know what it is. I don't know if like less people nowadays are trying to get into YouTube. It might just be my perceptions. Maybe it's more, but it always seems to me like in the past, a lot of people have always like come to me or like in the comments said, and this does happen occasionally still, but people will say like, hey, I'm trying to get started with YouTube. Could you like help me? Could you like give me a shout out or something? Which, by the way, don't do that. It's annoying. Don't do that. Or people will ask for tips like, what is your advice if I want to get into this? Which I definitely don't mind sharing that. I love trying to help people. I'm just not gonna like give a shout out to someone I don't know at all, you know. And it's also kind of, it comes across as annoying, you know. Especially when it's obvious that it's spam, you know. But people have asked like, what's your advice? And the advice for me is, not that any of you watching this might care, this is an inside baseball sort of thing, you know. But my advice, if you do care, if you are maybe one of those people out there who is like running a channel, and I'm, you know, that's the thing, it's like I've watched videos of like Northern Lions talking about, go back to him, where he like has talked about stuff like this, and now I'm doing it, which is funny. It's like, you know, going down the chain, because he was like, you know, a professional YouTuber. I'm like the farthest you could be away from that, still being able to call your channel kind of successful, you know. But still, maybe this will be helpful, and I'm not an expert. Again, I only have about 3,000 subscribers. I don't have 700,000, but maybe I think I have enough of a knowledge of YouTube that maybe I can help you. And so if you do care about stuff like this, my one piece of advice is, we just had something get occupied. Where? Down there, yeah. My one single most important piece of advice that I could give you is this: keep going, you know? Don't give up. I know maybe that's a cop-out, but no, I mean it. It's serious. Like, I'm serious. I think you just gotta power through. You just gotta keep going. It doesn't matter if no one's watching your videos. It does not matter. You just gotta keep going. It's going to be the case that people aren't gonna watch your videos at first. You know, no one gets successful right away. Rarely, I guess. That's not how it works. But you keep going, and there is actually like, not beyond the fact of saying like that if you do it just because you expect to get, you know, there's a certain element where if you expect to be successful, it's gonna make it more likely that you're gonna give up easier if you're like expecting too much right away. That's that element, but I don't really care about that. No, I think there's actually like literal like practical uses to the saying, or to like the advice to just keep going, and I'm gonna outline that. For one thing, even if you're not getting a single view, well, maybe like you probably need to get like one view in a video, but you know, even if you are getting like 1 or 2 views per video, you might be like, what's the point of keeping going? No one new is finding my stuff. That's true. However, it absolutely does help to keep going. And by the way, like, another thing that is sort of, I think, goes without saying, but also applies to that you shouldn't be doing it if you don't want to. If you don't like the aspect of making the videos and recording them and talking to yourself, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. Don't do it just, that is something, before you start. This is not really advice for if you're going. Before you even start, figure out why you want to do it. If you want to do it because you want to be famous or you want to make money or whatever, that's not a good reason to want to do it, you know? I understand that. There's a certain element to that everyone who starts YouTube, I think, does have. It's like, it'd be cool, too. But you should just like to play games and like doing stuff like that in general. And if you don't, maybe it's not the right hobby for you. You know, for me, I have always loved doing videos, and that's the main reason I do it. I don't really care about the money aspect or anything. I would love to make it my job, but it's not a big thing for me. I just am really, really into recording. I love talking to myself, and again, kind of going back to the way it started for me, the fact that I love like blabbering on to myself, it's a good outlet for that for me. It makes me feel like I have something to talk, like a way I can talk as much as I want without coming across to other people as being annoying or overbearing. There is a huge aspect of that. It's like a good outlet for me, a creative outlet, and I get to speak my mind, you know. I think that's good. So there's a lot of stuff like that, but yeah, So in general, though, so that's like before you start. Figure out why you're doing it, because maybe you don't have the right thing, and if you don't have the right motivation, that's also going to make it a big problem for you moving forward. But the other thing is that once you're going, if you do have a passion for it, the other big piece of advice is keep going. There's even if you're not seeing any views, any benefit, any growth, just keep going. Just keep powering on through. And there is actually like a little bit of a science, or not science, you know, whatever, data to back this up. If you keep going, even if you aren't getting any views at all, oh, this is not a good idea, I'm going to do it. Even if you aren't getting any views at all, eventually, if you keep hitting your head against the wall long enough, you will see growth. Because inevitably, you're going to have someone watch your stuff that's gonna like it eventually. It's inevitable as long as you keep going. That's one thing. Beyond that, though, even more important is the image that your channel has is going to be a lot better if someone goes to your channel and they see that you only have one video. They're like, why am I gonna watch this guy? He probably doesn't know what he's doing. Whereas if you go to someone's channel that's new and they have like 100 videos that they've already uploaded, some of which maybe have, you know, maybe none of them have a lot of views, but maybe a couple have some views, they're gonna be like, oh, like this person's been doing a while, they're probably interesting enough at least. That's sort of like almost like an image, like I don't know, so as weird as it sounds, if you can trick people into thinking that you are experienced, even if you're not big or good, if you can trick people into thinking like, oh, this guy's been doing it a while, look how many videos he has. When people come to a YouTube channel and they see this page, they see a landing page of your channel that is full of videos, even if none of them have many views, if they open the page up and you have a bunch of views here on this page, they're going to be a lot more likely to watch one of your videos and start watching your stuff than if you don't have any videos. So even if you don't have any videos, you're just getting started, just start pumping them out. Pump out like a couple a week. But just keep going with it until you have a good portfolio, sort of, is a good way to look at it. After a while, you'll have a good maybe couple dozen videos, a couple different series and playlists, and maybe they don't have any views, but when people come to your channel from that point onwards, it's going to help them to see that, oh wow, this person actually, they have quite a few videos already. And that sort of like having a base of videos, like a good amount of content on your channel, is something I think is necessary to really get your channel to grow. So yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know how much any of you will care about this, but for those of you who might be interested in the future, or have been interested, or are interested, or are currently working on YouTube channels, that's the big thing, is like just keep going, because having more videos helps out with getting new people, and having more videos, even if none of them have views, will help with your search engine optimization and stuff. All of that helps. Just do the more, the better, And as you keep doing more, a secondary effect is the more you do, the better you'll get at it. The more interesting you'll get, the more comfortable with your own voice you'll get. And I've definitely seen that. If I go back and I still have plenty of videos where I'm like, oh, I don't think I talked very well in that one. Can't really edit it out either. Just, do the next one better. But there are, starting off, when I go back and look at my old videos, which I never do normally, it's just like sometimes I'll do it for fun. I'm like, wow, I sound so uncomfortable with my own voice. Whereas now, I talk like I'm talking to other people in real life. And I think that's one reason that I think I'm relatively proud of a lot of my videos. I feel like these are videos that I have fun making, and afterwards, it's not like I am embarrassed by them. I go forward and I'm like, I am happy I did that video. I think it turned out pretty well. Maybe it wasn't perfect, but it turned out pretty well. I don't think it was bad. I think I kept up a constant string of thought, you know, that maybe someone will find interesting. And if someone doesn't, they're probably not going to think I'm super boring, per se. Maybe they'll just be like, oh, his playstyle of the game of EU4 wasn't interesting. Or, oh, what he talked about. Not really my thing, but still. I don't think most people would say that I try. You know, I definitely try to have that, I definitely try to be talking at all times to have something engaging, even if it isn't interesting. I try to have something I'm talking about, and that way people I think I'm sort of forced to try to be more interesting, and I'm forced to try to improve on that, and I naturally have gotten better and more comfortable, and it's helped me outside of YouTube. I feel more comfortable when I make speeches in classes. I feel comfortable in my own, like, with my voice now more, so it's really awesome for those other reasons. That's one of the reasons I have kept going with it as much as I have. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna end this episode here, and this will probably be the last episode for this session. I think like 3 out of the 4 episodes have been like 30 minutes in length, including this one. This one went way over. Still, maybe you find it interesting. Thank you guys for watching. This is probably the most like behind the scenes episodes I've done ever, so thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next episode, in the next session. Bye-bye.